better daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.life to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What's up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live, and I'm joined with my special guest, my son Gabriel. Say hi, everybody.
Hi!
He's joining me for Wild Card Wednesday today. I told you guys I had something special for you, and so here it is. And that is, today we're going to play the pain game. Are you excited?
Yeah. It's cold.
It's very cold. For Wildcard Wednesday today, I'm sharing an episode that I did in Defining Dad Bod called Abundant Fatherhood. And the question is, how do we break the cycle of history? That is, that strong men make good times make weak men make hard times. Well, you're not a weak man, are you? No, you're not going to be. But one of the things that Gabriel and I have been working on, he's 6, by the way. Don't cheat yet. We're not ready to play this game yet. One of the things we've been working on is grit. And the question is, how do you build grit on purpose? And, well, grit's a tough thing to build because to build grit, you have to go through something difficult. It's kind of like having to build patience, right? Learning to be patient is very difficult.
I do not have patience.
You're being very patient while I'm talking to everybody. Yeah, you're working on it. All right, so we're going to play the pain game, and I'm linking the episode to Abundant Fatherhood so that you can muscle through this cycle of history thing with me in a second. But the pain game is this. I know it sounds really, really strange. This is a bowl of ice water. We've put a whole bunch of ice cubes in a bowl, and we've filled it with water. And the way that they...
Water.
Cold water, that's right. It's super cold. It's cold water with ice water on top of it. Are you getting cold just thinking about it? Yeah.
I gotta get my sleeves.
You gotta get your sleeves up. But we're building our pain tolerance. One of the things that we study in psychology is how to measure pain and the things that affect your ability to handle pain. Are you getting ready? Is that your ready? That's his ready posture. And exercise is one of those things. It actually helps to condition our body to consciously choose to do something that's difficult. John says this. He gave you a fist bump. You want a fist bump, John? Boom. Exercise does that. There's a point in exercise where you're like, oh, this is horrible and it hurts, but I'm going to keep going anyway, right? But in psychology, one of the ways that they study that is ice water. Ice water is painful. If you've ever stuck your hand in it or your foot in it, or maybe you've had to ice something because it's been inflamed, that's how they study it. So there's a few different things that they use to study pain, and ice water is one of them. And the game that Gabriel and I have been playing is how long can we hold our hand in the water. And today...
Mine is 50.
He's gone 50 whole seconds. And for you guys today, he has agreed to do 45 seconds with me. And if we feel like doing more, we might. Is that right? Okay, you might want to roll your sleeve up. So I'm going to set my timer here, and he and I are going to put our hand in the ice water, and it's really cold. So what's up, Scott? Good to see you, Robin. Thanks for joining us. Gabriel and I are about to play the pain game to build some grit. So if you want to play it with us, you just need to fill a bowl with water and ice, and then you just got to hold your hand in there for as long as you're willing to do so. So 45 seconds, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah? How do you think this is going to go? You're not going to give up early, are you? No. Okay. Good man. We got too much grit for that. All right. So, Rob, did you just punch yourself in the head? Stop that. I didn't teach him that. All right. Are you ready? I'm setting my stopwatch. 45 seconds. And here we go. Ooh, that's cold.
That's extra cold.
That's extra. We put some extra ice cubes in there.
Okay.
We're at 11 seconds.
Come on!
I know. This is terrible. Wait, hold it in there. Don't give up on me now. We're at 20 seconds. How you doing? Look at me.
Come on.
Are you watching yourself? He's watching himself in our live. Okay, we're at 30 seconds.
Oh, come on!
All right, I'm going to challenge you for the next 15 seconds. Deep breathe. stopwatch? Come on. Oh, there it is. We got 3 more seconds. Can you do it? Can you go longer? You want to go longer? This kid's crazy.
I'm going to fix my high school.
It's starting to hurt. Ooh.
Turn it back on. Turn it back on.
Can you get to 60? 3.
More.
I can't handle more. Are you crazy? Ah!
You can put your hand
Okay, 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds.
4,
3, 2,
No, stop it.
What do you mean don't stop it?
Go ahead, put your hand out if you want.
Man, he was giving up before. Now it's... How? Ow! Don't be weak, Dad. I can't feel my hand. Can you feel your hand?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, 90 seconds. Oh, this is a world record. Actually, this isn't a world record. Did you know Wim Hof can keep his whole body in this much ice water for 2 hours? I know, right?
Oh, God.
Okay, let's make it to 2 minutes, and then we'll call it quits, okay?
No.
Oh, you got
I had to.
Ah! Ow.
I need to go get a towel.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us for our pain game. I hope you enjoy the abundant fatherhood episode talking about how we create a powerful and strong generation. It's not just for fathers. It's about helping the next generation face things and leading by example, even when things are good. And it's hard to say. I know everybody's proud of their kids, but I'm so proud of this kid because over the past few years, dealing with pain has been something that's been really hard for him. Falling off a bike or scraping his knee or something, he would just fall to pieces. And now, you just saw it. He just made a whole game out of the pain thing. And I'm not kidding, man. That hurts. How's your hand, dude? Is it pretty cold?
Next hand.
You want to tell everybody bye?
Why? We're leaving?
Well, yeah, we got to let him go. This is a short cast.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for joining me for Wildcard Wednesday on Better Daily Live. This has been Alex Van Houten, and until tomorrow for Word Thursday, it's just 1%. You got this. Hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men, and weak men make hard times. Have you ever heard that before? It's a succinct distillation of a historical problem that I first heard described by a Middle Eastern philosopher named Al-Kindi. He wrote in an Islamic tradition about 1500 years ago, and what he described was a really interesting cycle. He saw that city dwellers in the Middle East would enjoy all the comforts of modern city life. They'd get fat on trade goods and live lives of luxury, such that every generation became a little less well-equipped for the world and a little softer. Meanwhile, the nomads that lived out in the harsh environment around the city would live through hardship, scraping by, with gratitude and grit for every little thing that they got, and because of their difficult lives, every generation of nomad became a little stronger, until eventually the strong nomads would look at the weak city dwellers and think, gee, they've got it pretty nice. Let's go take their stuff. And so the nomads would invade the city dwellers, and because of their intergenerational strength and living through hardship and the city dwellers' relative softness, the nomads would drive out the city dwellers and begin living their life in luxury as a new generation of city dweller. Meanwhile, the newly banished and pudgy nomads would begin their first generation of hardship, and on the cycle would go. Nomads becoming stronger, city dwellers becoming weaker, the driving out of one group from another, and then the trading of places every few generations. And thus the saying, hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. This cycle is particularly troublesome to me because I was born into a family where I had to learn to overcome cycles of abuse and trauma, poverty, fatherlessness, mental disorders, and even addiction. You could say that from an intergenerational perspective, my family were the nomads. And not that I'm perfect or have everything figured out, but my children are the first generation of children in the cycle of my family tree that aren't experiencing the hardships of privation and trauma. So a question that haunts me into the wee hours of the night as a dad is what would happen if good times didn't have to make weak men? Or asked a different way, how can I as a father help my sons to become strong men without either, 1, abandoning them to the privation and hardship that creates strong men, or 2, artificially constructing fake or overly brutal hardship
That makes me more akin to a monster than a father. The more men I talk to in my community who are fathers, and the more I ask their opinion on this issue, the more I realize it's not just me. Without asking questions like this, some men fall in the trap of overly providing material wealth. You can hear that when somebody says that they want their kids to have everything they never had. And I'm not saying it's a surefire equation, but generally that can result in greed, ingratitude, and an overall disrespect for the value of hard work. Another trap we fathers can fall into is showering our children with experiences and hyper-programmed lives that could breed an expanding understanding of the world around them and their place in it, but could also easily foster anxiety and crises of identity, where they feel like they always have to be busy, but don't really know why. The final trap I often see is that fathers inherently feel these things, but instead of wrestling to find the balance, they dive headlong into work or hobbies to distract themselves from this difficult problem. Now, I'm not perfect, and the hard times that I mentioned earlier are perceived through the lens of first world problems, but in my own imperfect way, I'm still wrestling with the problem nonetheless. One of the worst things that I could imagine thinking in my life is that my fatherhood amounted to young men that might have been better off if I wasn't even here while they grew up. So today I want to share with you 10 things that I think fathers can do in a world of abundance to help their children become strong men and women. This will sound particularly geared to boys since I don't have any experience fathering daughters, but I imagine that many of these things translate just as well to building strong women as they do strong young men. So here we go. The first thing we can do to build strong men in good times is to teach them how to choose and serve a good spouse by working well with yours. One of the things that's lost in fatherlessness is the example of a worthwhile, productive, and peaceful relationship. Strong men can continue to produce strong times because of great companions. There's only so many hours in the first 20 years of a child's life that dad has a direct influence on them, and it's actually the relationships that they'll build thereafter that will continue to shape the trajectory of their lives. Help them know how to identify a good spouse, how to be a great one themselves, and to make that decision with commitment and sincerity. The number 2 thing we can do to build strong men in good times is to get in and stay in the best shape we can manage. I know I'm biased because I'm a nutrition, health, and exercise coach, but the grit, endurance, and discipline that comes from eating well and exercising regularly is invaluable. Ultimately, our children will do what we do, not what we say, and whatever genetic potential is wrapped up in every individual's DNA can at best be brought to bear by being in great shape, and at worst, be impeded by being untrained. If you're not already working on your health and fitness, you don't have to do it all at once. Start small and make incremental progress. And hey, there's a nice lesson wrapped up in that too. How to take on a giant problem, one piece at a time. They're watching. Show them how. The number 3 thing we can do to build strong men in good times is to tell your story. Just because they didn't grow up like you doesn't mean that those lessons weren't very valuable. And it's crazy, most children don't know the struggles of their father until way later in life, if at all. While privation will teach people by necessity, the love of the father can teach by admiration. Your kids want to hear what you've been through. Don't waste another day not telling them about it. The number 4 thing you can do to build strong men in good times is to play as often as you can. Your kids are going to have to learn to play every single game with the best hand they've been dealt, and to figure out how to have some fun while doing it. Most of life is like that. There's the changing the diaper game, the going to work game, having awkward conversations in the airport game. Model the good sport, be gracious in defeat, and play to win. And even if monumental lessons aren't learned that day, the best memories I've made with my kids so far tend to involve playing in some form or fashion. The number 5 thing we can do to build strong men in good times is to let them see you fail. Men who grew up without dads think they can only show their successes. That's not true. The most valuable thing we can teach our children about success is that they will fail. Much of success is about how we respond to those failures. If you model humility, then they will too. Show them humility by teaching them how a real man responds to failure. And if you're not sure how to let them see you fail, try learning something new with them. Paddleboarding, martial arts, model airplanes. If you need some ideas, Pinterest abounds with many things that you're not good at. Take it on and let your kids see the whole thing unfold. Don't get any practice rounds in. They need to see you fail. The number 6 thing we can do to build strong men in good times is to serve the less fortunate with them. Exposure to the tougher side of life is important for the cultivation of gratitude and selflessness. Don't let your kids be naive in thinking that abundance is the natural state of existence. It's not. Much of life can be nasty, brutish, and short, and it's only through great sacrifice that abundance is possible and maintainable. Teach them through service that to whom much is given, much is expected. There's a responsibility that comes with good times, and that responsibility will make stronger men. The number 7 thing we can do to build strong men in good times is to introduce them to history and drama and talk about it. There are both religious and non-religious traditions that have powerful histories that really make up each generation's common languages and points of reference. Personally, I'm reminded of this when my side of the family gets together for the holidays. The Lord of the Rings trilogy and the precursors, the Silmarillion and the Hobbit, are a deep part of the common language of my family. From my brother randomly quoting Aragorn to my sister humming the soundtrack, that story binds us together, gives us some great laughs, and helps us sum up difficult ideas when we're trying to express them. Now, The Lord of the Rings isn't the only one, that's just an example. But operating with wisdom requires an understanding of the stories that came before us and the stories we're living out now. We truly are standing on the shoulders of giants. Don't let your children believe that good times just generated itself out of thin air, but help them understand the stories and traditions that brought you and your family where they are today. The good, bad, and ugly will go a long way towards scaring them away from hell and inspiring them toward heaven. The number 8 thing we can do to build strong men in good times is to spend time hiking. Hiking is naturally difficult, and nature is naturally beautiful and naturally humbling. Sunlight, fresh air, and the sheer grandiosity of creation is a powerful force that drives a man to a fully integrated sense of self. Thankfully, no matter how advanced or abundant civilization becomes, rivers are still cold and intense, mountains are still tall and treacherous to climb, and mountain lions are no respecter of persons. Nature brings us back to our roots like nothing else can, and when a thoughtful man trudges through a mountain pass and thinks through what it would be like to spend a week or two out here without modern technology, he returns home renewed and restored with a sense of gratitude, both for the existence of nature and for his regular protection from it. The number 9 thing we can do to build strong men in good times is to work hard and invite them to join you with patience. Our kids are capable of immense determination and indomitability. Give them as many chances as possible to work shoulder to shoulder with you so that your diligence can rub off on them. From a psychological perspective, we still don't know what causes industriousness, which is a character manifestation of conscientiousness, but it might be one of the few character traits that, unlike agreeableness or extroversion or neuroticism, can actually be taught to our children in a way that sticks with them the rest of their lives. Just because the times are good doesn't mean there's not a lot of work left to be done to make things even better. And I know that you didn't become a cycle breaker by sitting on your butt all day. Work hard and invite them to join you. The number 10 thing we can do to build strong men in good times is spend some time getting to know powerful words and their counterparts, and then learn to tell stories that make these words come to life. Words like courage, honor, integrity, humility, peace, patience, mercy, forgiveness, joy, discipline, fidelity. Without a dictionary, could you explain what those words mean? And what about their evil twins? Malice, deceit, suffering, strife, envy, arrogance, rage, and slothfulness. Words exist because they have histories and etymologies associated with them, and many times have been passed down from generation to generation, so that we have ways of expressing the knowledge of those who came before us in short order. Einstein said, "To teach is to learn twice," and it's been my experience that wrestling with these difficult words so that my children can understand them has not only taught me what they mean, but has also taught me how to embody the good stuff and not to act so much on the bad. I realize I still have a lot to learn as a father. My boys are only 5 and 2, and so by most standards, I'm just getting started with this thing, but I'm sharing this with you for 2 reasons. 1, if even one of these things can help you to build stronger children during good times, then maybe your children can help my children build an even better world than we had. And the number 2 reason is because if there's something here that I didn't list, that you know about building stronger men in good times, then I want to know about it. If you're on the journey of intergenerational betterment, then join the discussion at definingdadbod.com/betterdaily. I don't think the mistakes of the past have to repeat themselves if we're willing to learn from those who came before us. Hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make better men. And who knows what the world could be then. This has been Alex Van Houten with Defining Dad Bod. Until next time, guys, kick butt, take names.
Thank you for joining us for your 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.